WDXE News, on the air since 1951. This is The Legend. 105.3, 95.3, WDXE.
That's us, WDXE, and it's time for the Rent Right Hour. Bill Adams is in here, and we got a special guest, Miss Shannon Watson. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Bill said that you may be coming, so we're excited to have you.
Sure.
And Bill Adams, how's it going, old buddy, old pal?
Great. How are you today?
How are things at the Rent Right world?
Rent Right Incorporated, wide open, middle of the summer.
I was there yesterday.
You were?
Yeah, I was going to file a complaint with that new girl you got up front.
Oh, okay. It's not going to go well.
It's not. I'm just messing. May's helping out up there now.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
I'm so proud of her. She's doing
That's
good.
so great.
She's doing good.
She's doing great.
Aw.
Yeah. We try to hire teenagers during the summer, and we were fortunate to have May and also another young man. Both of them are 15 years old.
Love it.
And we call them interns and get them started and working.
That young man helped me yesterday.
Yes, sir.
He jumped up there and got the mower off the trailer and
Yes,
took off
sir.
with it. So anyway,
That's so good. I love that. That's a wonderful
And
experience.
Shannon, I don't know if people know who you are, but I do.
Yes. Right.
You belong to a good friend of mine, Mr. Lanny Hurst.
I do.
Yes.
I do.
And your mom, of course, was a sweet lady.
Yes, she's precious.
Yeah. Is she into knife trading like the rest of them are?
She might as well be.
She might as well be.
She helps fund that. She helps with the funding of that knife obsession.
The pocket knife. Listen,
Yes.
the pocket knife world is going on. I'm telling you.
It's really interesting. And Dad and Barry both, they've always had different hobbies growing up, and to see them into the knife obsession, it just completely makes sense, and they love it, and it's a great hobby for Dad because he enjoys it.
Yeah,
to
he does.
sit and clean them and mess with them.
I beat him out a time or two at the knife auctions.
I'm sure he's not giving you a hard time about that at all.
Not too bad. Not too bad. They're fun. I had to quit watching them though because I ended up buying too many.
Right.
I got more knives than I know what to do with.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Bill Adams and cowbell. No, oil cans. He's got oil cans.
I've got oil cans everywhere.
Yeah, you got oil.
Yeah.
He's got an oil can obsession.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You need to bring some of those up here one time.
I do?
Yeah, why not? We'll show them off a little bit because
got-
you got some interesting oil cans.
Yeah, I've got some railroad oil cans. I've got some, the squirt cans.
Yeah.
I've got some from Murray, Ohio, from the days.
That's so cool.
The men and women would use oil cans for different purposes at Murray.
Yeah.
And railroad, and I've got, garage type, some brass, some steel.
It's interesting how
Quite
people
interesting.
begin to collect things.
Sure.
Do you have any collections? Do you collect anything?
Clothes.
Clothes.
But I mean, honestly, no, I do not have any kind of collection right now. But I may after I retire. I may start something.
Teresa collects. It's really not a collection, but she takes it by spell. She loves sewing and knitting,
Oh, nice.
and she is always in pursuit of material that she likes, and she likes a lot of the old. Classic type old stuff and she's found different places where she can find these old patterns material.
Aw,
So
that's
and then she gets it and it's so pretty to her, just fold it up. She don't want to do anything with it. She just looks
Just
at it.
to look at it makes her happy.
She does. She makes quilts and things like that sometimes. But Shannon, what are you doing now? What in the world's going on with you? Because you've been with the school system.
Right. I'm actually I'm the career and technical director and communications director for the school system for only 7 more days. I've been in the school system for 30 years, and so my retirement is coming up June 20th.
Yeah.
But I've been over the career and technical programs for quite a while.
Yeah.
Taught within the business department for 17 years before I came out to be a supervisor. So I've been blessed to be a part of the career and technical programs of our county for quite a while.
Yeah. And so what are you going to do after that?
Well, I'm praying about that. I'm really praying. I'm really praying about that. I'm going to. I joke with my children and tell them I'm going to finally be a stay-at-home mom.
I got an idea for you.
Oh, what's that?
You could sell real estate with me.
I could sell real estate
There you
with
go.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. I do enjoy real estate.
I know.
I do enjoy
How
it.
good of an idea was that?
That was a pretty good idea.
Okay.
But, you know, I have a grandbaby, and so
Well, that's good.
I'm going to spend time with my family for about 6 months, and then I'm going to decide to do something later.
Well, you've got a long career with the Lawrence County school system.
I do.
And it's kind of seen the ebb and flow of all of it and been a big part of it. And of course, the career and technical education portion of that, tell me a little bit about what is that exactly? For somebody who was just totally green and wouldn't know what
Sure.
that's talking about.
So my favorite way to describe it is that, you know, career and technical education is everything from the agriculture programs, that's a hard word to say early this morning.
Yes.
The ag programs to cosmetology to welding to business to human studies to health science. It's just the whole career. And to me, it's every career, because
Yes.
now in the state of Tennessee, we have got such a strong career and technical program overall, and in Lawrence County specifically, you know, we have got what I call a robust program across our high schools, our middle schools, and we've even, you know, we dive down into the elementary schools as well.
Really?
We do. But
Bill-
teaching students how to work and work ethic and things like that, that's what we do.
Yeah, Bill and I have had conversations, not only with just he and I, but in groups of guys, talking about our young people, their needs, their challenges, what they face. And you know, when Bill and I grew up, you're younger than we are, but
Not much.
but
Not much.
but times have changed. Things were different, you know. And we talked about work ethic, that kind of thing that some of us feel may be missing.
Right.
But at the same time, there's some that as Bill's pointed out, they're out there. These kids want something to do.
Right, right. And the best thing we can do is to teach them to work and to provide for themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what I love about our programs. I think our career and technical education programs in Lawrence County schools are the most important classes that our kids take, because we are giving those kids, you know, an avenue to be able to provide for themselves.
Now, this is a county-wide thing, right?
Yes, sir.
It's, I guess statewide, actually.
National,
Excuse me.
yes, yes.
But in our county in particular, school by school, if we could take that, I'm just trying to kind of break it down.
Sure.
School by school and say, okay, we've got classes and who teaches these and how do we dive down into that?
Right, right. So during my term, I don't think term is the right word, but since I've been CT director, my goal has been to make equitable access across our 3 high schools with our career and technical programs.
Yeah.
To be able to provide the same things to our students from Summertown, Lawrence County High School, and Loretta,
Okay.
just to make sure our kids have the same opportunities. So we've grown quite a bit.
Yeah.
So we, you know, there's the only program that is not shared amongst the 3 high schools is automotive. You know,
Okay.
we have automotive at Lawrence County High School, and it's because there's space, but plus it's an expensive program. It requires a lot of space, but that's a hard program to start when you're kind of limited to space.
Yeah, it
so to
does
speak.
take a special place
Oh, yeah,
to do
for
any
sure.
to do any of this.
For sure, but we've added welding and like agriculture, and we're adding cosmetology at Summertown High School. So we've about got Summertown High School at an even kiln with the rest of the schools.
If I go back in my memory, and Bill, this will get to our high school days, and you can weigh in on this if you want to, Bill. But I'm just trying to remember my freshman year at high school was the year they opened the vocational center.
Yes, sir.
That
Yes.
was the vocational center. It was a big deal.
Yeah, right.
And of course there was, if I try to remember, there was electronics, electrical. There was building. There was ag. There was
Mechanics,
ag
yeah.
and welding. I think they had it then. But there was a greenhouse. It's still there,
Right,
I think.
right,
And then they had graphic arts, which is where I dove in.
right.
And I went to the graphic arts, which was, I didn't know what graphic arts was
Sure.
till I got there, and it was printing. You know,
Right.
the printing industry and all that kind of stuff. So
Right, right.
I was actually the the first class of the ag mechanics of
Really?
that year.
Who taught? Do you remember who taught it?
Yes, I can see his name, but I'll have to think of it.
Ag mechanics.
I've hit that age where I can't remember well.
Did it help you think?
It did. I use it every day.
Sure.
And you know, the one thing I was thinking is it's so important for youngsters, young adults, to be exposed to things that they enjoy. And you know, you never go to work a day in your life if you
right.
enjoy
That's right.
what you do.
That's right.
So,
I agree with that.
you know, I think it's this is one thing that the CTE does. It exposes youngsters to areas of life where they can make a living and understand why education is important to be able to reach those goals in their life.
Yeah.
And so, yes, this is a very old program, but it's been enhanced
Right.
under your leadership
Well,
really well.
and you know, under a lot of people's leadership, but back then, you know, we bussed students, you know, up until,
Oh, that's right.
you know, we bussed students from the other high schools.
That's right.
And-
I'd forgotten about that.
Yes, and so that was done for quite a while. And you know, when I was in high school, way back when, students were still being
Was
bussed.
that what, the 1940s? I'm
Yes,
just
sir.
kidding.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
just kidding.
No. Yeah, but you know, I am a product of the career and technical programs. I was not, you know, an A student. Hardly was a B student. You know, I was that kid that just loved to have a good time and have fun.
What did you do?
Business classes.
Business classes.
Yes,
Okay.
I had those fabulous teachers such as Maxine Holloway and Carolyn Jones and Phyllis Borum inspired me tremendously as a student. And then, you know, I can remember standing in Phyllis Borum's class, you know, thinking, you know, I just don't know what I want to do with my life. And I didn't really think I was going to go to college. My parents didn't really think I was going to go to college. And, you know, I just remember standing there thinking, you know, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You know, I'm pretty good in these business classes. That I did excel in. That's the only classes I excelled in. But I, you know, I'm a product. My kids are products. Your kids are products of the career and technical programs. What we do in our programs is give those students just a little bit of taste for free. You know, you get to try these programs out. And because we have so many, our kids are fortunate enough, you know, you take a health science class and you think you're going to be a doctor and you decide, oh, I don't like the sight of blood, because our kids get to, you know, they get to do all sorts of simulations where they get experience and they change their minds and they pivot to something else.
That's what I was going to ask a little bit about, Bill, and you again chime in on any of this, but this has come up even with us right now because I have a teenager.
Yeah.
And she's already worried about what she wants to do, what she wants to be, and I'm encouraging her to take her time about it.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to be in any way controversial, but
Sure.
but sometimes I feel like we're pushing our kids to make decisions too early about what they want to be,
Sure.
what they want to do.
Sure.
And some of them know.
Right.
Some of them know, and they just know. You
Kids
know?
are so different.
And they're all different.
They're all different. They're all different. We start with our student. We have a program in our school system that's exclusive to our school system called Work Ethic Distinction Junior, and that's the 5th grade. And that our students take an interest survey in 5th grade, and they get to tour business and industry, and we have career fairs for them. But they do a career interest survey in 5th grade, and
Wow.
then we have our high school students come over and teach basic work ethics to the students in 5th grade. So you've got high school students coming down to the 5th grade and teaching students about what it means to have good work ethics, which includes attendance, working well with others, staying drug-free. We put a drug-free message in there.
Right.
And all of those work ethics, the beauty of that program is that it comes from conversation with our business partners.
Yeah.
You know, over the years, that's something that we have just really tried hard in our career and technical programs to have lots of conversations with business and industry. Tell us what you want. Tell us what industry certification is good for our kids,
Right.
because we have lots of industry certifications our kids get to take in high school now.
Well, Bill, of course, this is the Rent Right Hour, and Bill, you know, in your business, you've had the opportunity probably to hire a lot of young folks. We're experiencing that now. And you mentioned that earlier. Do you have some input as far as what you've seen with the kids?
Yeah, what we used to do in years gone by, we would hire just good people, the best we could find, and it's shifted a little bit. Not only good people with good soft skills, that what Miss Shannon's talked about,
Right.
teaching and being on time and ethical and dress your best and all those things, cordial on the phone and all those skills that we need, but also having the right person in the right seat. And that goes with understanding the skill, understanding the passion that the person has, and it's fun. You know, you have a fun day of working, doing what's enjoyable to you.
Yeah.
So you try to match those things, and you know, so often, Shannon, I see people going down a particular path chasing money, and they forget that life is long and life is hard, and if it's not fun and all we're doing is chasing dollars, what a miserable life it is.
Right.
The thing I have seen in the technical world, and we hire a lot of mechanics. We've got some mechanics that make really good money, and some motor coach drivers that make really good money. But we sure do recommend, and we talk about it in depth, make sure this is what you want to do.
Right, right.
And so the right, you know, the right person in the right seat, making those correct decisions for their life.
Providing a foundation through the education system and through this kind of training helps a young mind to develop, I guess, and kind of land in a place where they're happy and comfortable. There's not much more miserable than going to work if you hate your job.
Oh my goodness.
I'll give you an example. Our daughter Leanne, who teaches at Loretta High School, in her early teaching education at Belmont, the first semester they require you to take some type of education class, and they put her in the classroom immediately to determine if that's a good fit.
Yeah.
So I just believe that's so important for youngsters to be exposed to work life and technical life, to just see if it's a good fit.
Sure.
You know, the Lord has made us in a certain way.
Right.
He gives us gifts and talents and skill, and we just got to encourage youngsters to find that.
You mentioned earlier teaching them to work and how to work. Now, not all work is pleasant, and not all work is fun.
Right.
So how do you plow through? Do you bring an understanding to a young mind that it's not always fun and games. There's some things that have to be done.
Sure.
But there's reward in doing a good job. There's a benefit to that.
Yeah. So, you know, we've got, in Lawrence County Schools now, we've got career coaches at all 3 high schools that have conversations with students.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like something that we have lacked so much as a state, as a nation, is those conversations with students, to talk to them about their passions, to take that data from their interest surveys. You know, those students do interest surveys not only in 5th grade, but we repeat those again in middle school, and then when they are freshmen, after they have been in the school system just a little while, they take at the high school level, they retake that interest survey and have a conversation one-on-one, just like this, with the career coach about, you know, how are you liking those classes? How are you liking that welding class? Is that something you think you could do every day? Do you want to go on to the next level? So very thankful for those conversations. You know, Mr. Adkins, who is our director of schools and has just been amazing to work with over the last, he's going on 5 years soon with being director of schools, and he has been so supportive of the career and technical programs and us having programs such as the career coach and the work ethic distinction program that we do with our students, that those conversations are getting easier and easier to have with our kids, and it only takes one person to totally change the trajectory of a child's life.
Yeah, there's
just one.
Great, I mean, there were some teachers, and I'm sure Bill and both of you would agree with me, that we had teachers, you just mentioned them earlier, that were tremendous influences in
Yeah.
our lives.
Yeah.
So our school system, and our people that are involved with our kids are so important.
Yeah.
You mentioned the vocational center, and first year there, freshman, new to high school, all the nervousness that goes on with that. But there was the graphic arts class that was just starting, and bless their hearts, they let me go in as a freshman. So I had 4 years of graphic arts, and the teacher at that time, y'all may remember, was David Atian.
Yep.
David Atian was there. And he was a tremendous influence. I ended up going to work for him. He had a print shop in Loretta.
Oh, nice.
I ended up going to work for him at least part-time during my senior year, I believe. Teresa and I met there in that class.
Oh.
And he ended up standing at my wedding.
No,
Oh, wow.
that is so
Isn't that-
great.
how about
I
that?
love that.
How about that?
Aw.
So he was a tremendous influence and thought the world of him, still do, and we've stayed in touch over the years.
Aw.
But that changed, my thinking about a lot of things.
Sure.
I went to work right out of high school at Murray. Now, and you're talking about finding things you like to do. This is not about me, but we're talking about careers,
Sure,
talking about stuff.
of course.
I went to work on my 18th birthday at Murray and came in, and I told my parents I just didn't think I was going to like this at all.
The working.
The working, well, that particular job, it was
Right,
handling,
manufacturing.
it was
Yeah.
handling a press, a big
Yeah.
press room deal and all that kind of stuff, which is great. I stayed there as long as they let me. They did the layoff things, but I spent several years working, trying to figure out what I did want to do.
Sure.
And I knew it wasn't where I was, but you don't give up. You just keep going. And
That's right.
that's what we're talking about, teaching these kids the work ethic.
Yes, yes, for sure. And back when I was in high school, we had a program called Co-op where you could leave after lunch and you would go to work.
Yeah.
And thankfully, now the state is back into really encouraging, but it's called work-based learning. It's, we have to change names all the time,
Right.
but it's called work-based learning. And that is something that we have expanded and are expanding. Hope Thomason, that is the incoming CT director. She is going to support and encourage, as well as the principals, for our kids to have those experiences. You don't know till you get out there or
Yeah.
you're in these classes. And so we have programs that have clinicals. We have teaching as a profession where kids can go to the elementary schools while in high school and work in the elementary schools. And what better way to find out, like you said, if you're
Yeah.
going to enjoy it before you go to school somewhere to a post-secondary institution and spend a lot of money on something maybe you don't even want to do.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I'm very proud about in our career and technical programs, is it just gives those kids a taste of what he or she might think they're interested in for free. I've said that before, but it's free, and we have got, amazing teachers. I've been blessed right now. Just to put it in perspective, Murray County is quite a bit larger than Lawrence County, and they have about 51 CT teachers in Murray County. I don't know what their population is, but it's a whole lot more than Lawrence County. Lawrence County, we have 40 career and technical teachers. So if you really think about that, and you think about the decisions that have been made and the leadership and the teachers that we have, giving our kids this experience, our kids have such a leg up. They have such a, our programs are why kids come to school.
Yeah.
They come to school because they want to get to that welding shop with Lee Sisk, or they want to get to that that health science class with Sandy Cook. They want to get to that ag program, they want to get to that greenhouse with McLean Bryant down in Loretto. Our programs, I firmly believe the career and technical programs keep our kids in school. They make them want to come because that's what they're going to remember.
Yeah.
The one thing I think about too is those are real skills.
Yep.
Those are real desires of their heart for these youngsters, and maybe it clicks. Oh, okay, now I understand why I need math and reading and
Right, it does.
writing.
Yeah.
I understand
does.
now, and
That
So,
geometry, why I'm
geometry.
learning, why I'm learning these angles, these crazy angles, well, I'm measuring wood and I'm building a
Yeah.
house and
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll give you an example
Sure.
of what we do every day, and with equipment, some expensive equipment. We plug up a laptop and diagnose what's going on
Sure.
with that equipment these days.
Yeah,
So there's computer learning, there's CTE learning,
Right.
and it all gels right there.
yeah, yeah,
And that's the world we live in.
Yep.
that's right.
Of technical, and it's a combination of so many different areas of learning that are so important
Yeah.
today in the workforce.
We're kind of at the halfway point, and of course, this hour is made possible by our friends, Bill Adams, and and all the crew at Rent Right. We'll take just a minute to maybe talk about a few things you've got going on there at the store.
Yeah.
Of course, you've got the FedEx drop,
FedEx drop, Ms.
You've got-
May's handling the FedEx drop. for us.
rental equipment
Yep.
for just any project, and of course, those great mowers.
Hustler mowers, this is the time of year, and it's continuing to rain. And
Everything looks pretty right now.
I tell our staff, every time it rains, it sells one more for us.
That's
So,
great, that's great.
we're great, yeah. We'll repair. We're taking in other brands now.
Yeah.
So if you've got you don't necessarily have to have a Hustler brand for repair. Give us a call.
Sure.
Anything from engine repair to tires and tubes, drop those off, bring them by. We'll be glad to take care of them for you.
Awesome, good. You got some great folks there. Always have had, and Rent Right there on Buffalo Road, not hard to find. And you want to go by and see it. We're visiting with Shannon Watson with CTE, and I wanted to ask you too. We talked about the career and technical, but how does this fit in with students who want to go into college or not go into college? I mean, it's all career oriented. We're all headed toward trying to make a living out here.
Right.
But some of this is not necessarily for college-bound students, and some of it is.
Right. So now now everything is college, right? So years ago you had college, which you looked at college as being Columbia State, MTSU, UNA.
Right.
But now we have, we've had for years our TCATs, TCAT Pulaski, TCAT Hohenwald. That's looked upon as college now. So when we talk to our students, that's college as well.
Okay, see, that's new to me.
Yeah, so college is college. Any post-secondary experience a child can get is college in
Okay.
our eyes. And we have got in Lawrence County Schools, we have many TCAT programs embedded on our campuses.
Now, what are you saying?
TCAT, Tennessee College of Applied Technology.
There we go.
Sorry, I'm very Southern and I talk very fast.
No. I'm just trying to
TCAT.
clarify. What did we used to call those though? It was something else.
Votech.
Votech.
Votech school.
Pulaski Votech. You remember
Maybe
that?
something like that. So that's it. But
Yeah.
it's now it's called TCAT.
Yes.
Tennessee College of Applied Technology.
That's right.
And so we've got partnerships with TCAT Pulaski, TCAT Hohenwald, and TCAT Crump.
Oh.
We've actually got a program right now through our ag programs where our students can get that college credit. So we've got partnerships with those schools, but having those TCAT programs embedded on our campuses make a huge difference. Lawrence County has the largest enrollment in TCAT Pulaski in their region, like in their whole student.
Really?
We have the largest because we've got building trades programs with them. We have welding with them. We have plumbing and electrical. We just have a lot of good programs that are on our campuses, but the beauty of them, and a lot of people don't know this unless you're in the high schools or in the system, students can return right after they graduate to complete their program. So like a student comes in to, like for example, we have Jason Hickman at Loretta High School that teaches plumbing and electrical. He is a TCAT employee on our campus at Loretta High School, and the students start like their sophomore, junior year in that program, and they earn that college credit. They earn those hours, and then when they graduate, say they lack maybe 3 more months of hours or whatever, they turn right around and they can start back in the summer or the fall and finish and not have to drive to Pulaski to finish.
Oh, wow.
So that kind of gives you an idea of how that works. And it's the same thing with the welding program at Loretto. In Summertown High School, we have welding, which is the TCAT Hohenwald. See, we've got partners everywhere. So we've got TCAT Pulaski and TCAT Hohenwald in our high schools. So
But the
our kids
resources are there.
they're there.
The
It's just-
resources are there.
It's a matter of talking to the kids, having those conversations, and explaining to them, okay, let's come back and finish. In addition, I mentioned our career coaches. They start talking to the students freshman and sophomore year, right?
Yes.
And then we are so lucky in Lawrence County Schools that we have the Ayers Foundation within our schools.
Okay.
And they talk with students their senior year. And they're basically, what they are is college access counselors. So our Ayers counselors take those students that senior year and they talk to them, and they help get them enrolled. They help get them to do their FAFSA, which is their funding for college. So I feel like now the career coaches, the Ayers counselors, and our guidance counselors, we have got amazing guidance counselors. So
Yeah.
right now, there is not a reason in the world for a child not to have a plan, because every hole should be filled now. There should be no gap of conversation with our kids. The guidance counselors are there, and they are fabulous, and they work with our kids and they help our kids. But between our career coaches, our guidance counselors, and the Ayers Foundation counselors, our kids should have a plan.
Sure.
All of them, every child.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I know they work hard. I know.
Oh, my
I know you folks work
goodness.
hard.
We do. We have got. We are so fortunate. I mean, we've. I'm such a huge cheerleader for Lawrence County Schools.
Are
I'm
you
so
Are you sure
proud
you
of
want to
us.
retire?
Well, I am. I am. But everything is being left in great hands. So it's going. Everything will just do so much better with me in a different capacity.
You mentioned, something for everybody. I was thinking while you were talking there, Bill, where, those of us that are in business and out here working, and we're seeing needs here and there, or we have a need maybe. You mentioned plumbing, electrical. I see this all the time. Someone needs something done all the time.
Yeah.
And I run into a lot of business owners who are basically always looking for someone to work.
Sure.
So there's plenty to do.
Oh yeah.
There's plenty to do in there, Bill.
There's plenty to do, and a couple of angles that I see. One is having work available where students can stay at home and make a good living for their family, and
Yeah.
realize something instead of moving off to a big town.
Sure.
And the offerings, meaning a career path through a company.
Yeah.
If a youngster is trained properly, they're going to be more attractive than having to OJT, on the job training.
Right.
Right. And I know we're hiring for skill now. We want
Yeah.
a great person with a skill set instead of trying to raise them up through the ranks.
Yeah.
It's just that's just where we are today. So,
And that's no different than most business.
true.
Especially when they have, especially when it's a skill set business like you may have, such as being familiar with mechanic and mechanicking, equipment, that kind of thing. But not all of them are that way. I mean, there's that. I keep thinking about, there's all the healthcare fields. There's the cosmetology world, which seems to be ever in front of us always. There's all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that was a big deal back when I was in high school. There was a cosmetology class.
Sure.
Anyway, I don't know why I thought of that, but it did. And the electrical, building trades,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
all those kind of things.
Yeah.
What do you see anything that's kind of more popular among the students than others?
Our health science classes, enrollment-wise, usually is quite large, right? The health science programs are high enrollment classes very high need. You know, they have their high wage, high demand career programs there. But, you know, our business departments, the enrollment is good. Enrollment is good. We have engineering programs now at all 3 high schools. And, you know, when you talk to business and industry in Lawrence County, that's a program that they're begging for people to come back to Lawrence County, you know, and that is from conversations. I've not mentioned the partnership of our local Chamber of Commerce, but I have to give them, you know, credit. They have been such a wonderful bridge for us in our career and technical programs, and you know, we work with them often. You know, whenever they have a company, a prospect coming in, and they're like, well, can you come and meet with us and tell us about your career and technical programs?
Right.
You know, we drop what we're doing and we go, because we know how important those conversations are.
Yeah.
So I have to say that has been such a blessing to work with the career and technical programs, working with the Chamber of Commerce, to be a bridge for us, and that's something that I'm very thankful for. And one program I did want to mention, I'm looking at my little cheat sheet over here.
That's okay.
You know, Bill and I have had multiple conversations about bus drivers. And we had a really cool program back in the fall where we, First Class Charter, donated, I don't know, what was it, 3 buses, and we identified, we had students, high school students sign up, and we took them over to TCAT Hohenwald on these nice fancy buses to see and tour their truck driving program that had just opened at TCAT Hohenwald.
Oh, wow, okay.
And so, we've been having conversations about truck driving, and I'm real excited to say that we are going to offer our first pre-CDL class at Lawrence County High School as like a pilot this fall. And I'm so thankful that there will be one class. Malin Fisher has agreed to give up his plan period to teach that. And we've partnered with Christensen, which is the former Sharp Transport, and been partnering with Bill all this time to make this happen. But so we're going to have a first pre-CDL program.
How neat is that?
I mean, I'm so excited about it, and it's been a long time coming. That has been a conversation, and that is a product of partnerships, right?
Yeah.
Because we've had those conversations, and we know how much those skills are needed, and what an opportunity for a child to see the United States if they're not tied down and travel.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And to provide a wonderful lifestyle for him, you know, for he or she, you know, that's a big deal.
If I've always said, if my life had taken a slightly different path, I would have enjoyed being a truck driver, because I love to drive, for one thing.
Sure.
And I love to see the country. You know, that's a good career path.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned something earlier that I kind of want to roll back to.
Okay.
And this is maybe a little bit out of the realm of your role as far as that goes, but Bill, of course, and I don't think he'll mind me telling, Bill's about to serve on the school board.
Yep.
And so you're deeply involved in not only that, but you've always been deeply involved with the schools, the school system. Your dad, of course, was Coach Adams, who everybody loved. And so you've been a part of this and known about this, but you're going to be neck deep involved as a school board member. And you mentioned facility a little bit about not having room for one, this, that, and the other. The growth of the county is something that's happening in a big way. It has been for a few years. School building program, there's things that's going to happen.
Sure.
And you're a long time in the school system.
Yes, sir.
Have seen those changes and seen things happen. What's on the horizon maybe for Lawrence County schools and the needs that are there?
You know, our leadership team is constantly having those conversations.
Yeah.
Jeff, we talk all the time. You know, this upcoming school year, we've had to put a cap on enrollment at multiple schools. Meaning,
Really?
yes, because of the you know, overcrowdedness. We've had to, because you know, we have to provide a spot for a student if they live within a district, that zone, right?
Well, time out. So that begs the question. So what do we do when there's a cap and there's still students?
So we're going to have to probably add some classrooms at some point
Yeah.
most of our schools, which we've been, you know, our leadership team is having these conversations all the time, right? So this is the first upcoming school year. Like, we've had to put a strong zoning
School zones.
school zone. I mean, we have those zones basically. We have the zones, but like Etheridge Elementary, very full, very full. So if you're not living in that zone, you can enroll to go there, right?
Well, there was a time when we didn't have the population push that we have, where we did have school zones, but they weren't strictly enforced all that
Right.
much.
You could get your child there, you could enroll them
Yeah,
there,
so,
right?
but that's changing.
That's changing. It's, the zones have always been there, right? The zones have always been there, but we have now got, it, you know, our population has increased. I mean,
Yeah.
Lawrence County is growing, just like you said, but those, we look at those numbers all the time. We look at numbers at central office all the time of where we are in enrollment. And there's lots of communication between the schools, like if you know, a new family moves to, say, Summertown. Summertown Elementary, very full. You know, it's one of those schools that
Yes,
you don't live there.
that population is exploding.
Summertown Elementary is. You know, we just opened up Summertown Middle last school year.
Yeah.
So at some point, the 6th grade at Summertown Elementary will have to, at some point, move to that middle school, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is, we've got Summertown Middle in the same building as Summertown High School. They're in different areas of the school because we have added on wings at Summertown High School. The middle school was always there, but it was a 7 through 12 school.
Right.
Last year, Summertown Middle School became its official school. Like, we've got the official school number with the state of Tennessee. So, so Summertown Middle is definitely an option as far as helping with the overcrowding at Summertown Elementary. It's a great school. All of our schools are so good. We've got Leoma Elementary. You know, Leoma Elementary enrollment is up significantly. Leoma of Lawrenceburg Public enrollment is up. We've just got some schools right now because because of the population growing.
Well,
you
we've
know?
got growth in every area of the county. We really do.
We do.
And it's a desirable place to live, Jeff.
Well,
and,
yeah, it
do
is.
business, raise your family.
Of course.
And also the education system.
Yep.
It's top notch.
Well, we've known that all our lives,
Yeah.
but there are people coming in from around the country
Right,
that I have experience with almost every day
Yeah.
that are seeing this area and going, hey, I really like it here.
Yeah.
How can I make a home here? Can I raise my kids here?
Yes.
All that kind of thing. And of course, you know, that's not a bad thing, but it does bring challenges.
It does. You know, we've got, this past school year, we had a record 5 schools receive Tennessee Reward School. That's a huge deal. We've never had
Now, what
5
is that?
schools.
What is that?
That is like state recognition of excellence, basically.
Yeah.
Tennessee Reward School. We had
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
We have 13 schools,
Yeah.
right? 5. That's huge. And Ingram Sowell received national recognition this year.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of Ingram Sowell.
Yeah.
They are just improving leaps and bounds. And those teachers over there and the leadership team over there are just thriving. I'm so excited about what's to come at Ingram Sowell.
My wife gave her all for several years at Ingram Sowell.
I'm an admiral. I'm an admiral. I don't know. Did you go to Ingram Sowell, or were y'all lived
No,
over there
we-
with Lawrenceburg?
Yeah, we
Publix.
moved in here in '73.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I came as a freshman, high school
Yeah.
freshman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was Ingram Sowell for first grade.
Okay.
And then we moved to New Prospect.
Right. Right.
So I
right.
remember Miss Faust was the,
Miss Faust was my teacher.
Was-
She loved Elvis Presley more than anything.
well, we loved her. I loved her. And
Miss Faust.
and so
Oh my
I had
goodness.
a first grade there at Ingram Sowell, and Mr. Norman Marston was the
Yeah.
principal at that time.
Oh, such
Now
a
listen,
great
Norman
person.
Marston was a imposing figure to a first grader.
Yes, he was. I'm sure. I'm sure he made you behave.
Well, listen, that was when the principals would carry their paddle in their hip pocket
Oh, my
up and down the hall.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get busted.
Oh, I didn't in the first grade. Listen, I was too scared of him to be busted in the first grade.
Yeah.
Now, when I got to the second grade out in New Prospect, things went awry.
Yeah. What do you think about bringing that back?
What's that?
Busting.
I'm for it. It didn't hurt me that bad.
I deserved every one.
I
of them.
deserved
right.
every one I got. That's right. I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I didn't like it, but I deserved every one I got, no doubt.
I got one in kindergarten.
Oh,
Miss
my.
Juanita Henson.
Oh my.
I
Little
take
ping
that
pong
back.
paddle.
I take that back. There was one that I don't think I really deserved. But I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's that is definitely a touchy subject. That is definitely a touchy
sure.
subject.
It
But
is.
we still have parents that we as a school system we would rather not. We would rather not
Yeah,
paddle students.
yeah,
But we
Hey,
have parents
it's-
that'll say,
yeah.
"I'll come up there and do it myself."
They-
we still have
Sure.
parents that do that.
Sure.
But really and truly, legally, we don't need to. We don't need to go back there, but we need our parents to parent.
The
We
big
need our
threat.
parents to parent at
Yeah,
home.
that's
right.
exactly
You
right.
get in trouble at school, you get in trouble at home. That was
Yeah.
how my parents.
The big threat that we had growing up was you don't want me to call your daddy, do you?
No,
That's
Ooh,
great.
no, Mama.
Mama.
Speaking of dads, I can't.
man.
I just can't let this program go by without us talking about the new business venture that your dad is in. The new business venture up at Lannyhurst Motors, because right up there he's got the horse lane, and we've got, I've been on the board there with Lanny for a little while
Yes,
for the
yes.
horse manure business, and we've been trying to get a contract with the state now for a while. So you may have some pull here that we haven't tapped into.
I would do anything to help my dad, anything, and he works real hard on all that, and he has a big time talking to people about. I hate to even say it, the horse hockey lane.
The horse
the
hockey
horse
lane?
hockey lane
Yeah.
is it is quite a conversation amongst many.
Well, he sprung a new one on the board members the other day.
Ooh, he did. Stirred up quite a bit with that post.
He stirred up quite an aroma in the room there. But he said something about developing a whole new horsey lane somewhere. We got a new one coming, maybe.
Have we?
I don't know. He mentioned
Listen, he and I were talking about it. I talk to him every day, and we were talking about it. I said, Dad, there were people that really thought you were being serious and were getting so mad at our county officials. He said, I know. He said, there's some people that were thinking I was being serious, and I'm like, Dad, it's so fun.
But that's too fun.
He is so creative. He is such a fun guy, and he loves talking to people. He is probably where I get my gift of gab from.
Well, he's been a good buddy of mine for a long time.
He loves you. He loves you.
Well, we love all of y'all.
Yes.
We do.
Yeah. Well, thank
Yes.
you. Thank
We
you.
do.
We appreciate
Except
that.
for Barry, I'm just
Still,
kidding.
still questionable on him.
Yeah, we're working on Barry.
He's just
Oh my gosh.
like Lannyhurst.
He's a knife fanatic all of a sudden. I know that.
He
Anyway.
is. He's having a big time with that.
Anyway, good stuff. Hey, the hour, of course, is brought to you by Rent Right, and Bill and I have talked about that. When Bill decided to do this, and Rent Right's to sponsor this hour, this is kind of a taste of what is going to come in this hour. So tune in on Tuesday mornings, and we'll have a guest or some other subject or this, that, and the other. As long as me and Bill can find something to talk about, we're going to do that. But of course, we want to remember that this is made possible by our friends at Rent Right and all the business that they do there. Bill and Jimmy Ann been running that for a long, long time, and of course, First Class Charter housed right there with it. All of your equipment rental needs, you got it there for you, and just a great service spot for you right there at Rent Right. Bill, anything special that you want to talk about in the store right now, buddy?
Trade-ins. We need some trade-in mowers.
Really?
Yeah, we've got a.
Ben, you just talked about that yesterday.
I know it, and maybe that's why it came to my mind. You need to go ahead and get that done today.
I'm thinking about trading.
I'm gonna
There you
have Lanny Hurst come over and sell mowers for me.
Okay, he could do it.
And I know he can. So maybe when we
You might get to throw in a bag of fertilizer along with
well,
this.
I've already can picture the bag. It's gonna say Hurst manure.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Right, is that,
I think that is a brilliant
Okay.
idea.
I've
He
got
would love
listen, see, that's where your marketing skills are slacking.
Sure.
I'm gonna help you.
okay.
It's Hearst horse hockey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You've got to hold, you gotta stay with us. Yes,
HHH. It will be a beautiful logo.
HHH fertilize, Hearst horse hockey fertilize.
Can you go ahead and get that design?
Yes, I
I need to
can.
present it to the chairman of the board.
Yeah, we'll put a little image of an Amish buggy,
Okay,
and we'll know what we're talking about.
okay. But I do need some trade-ins, and you know, we're offering $1,000 on anything. You drag it in, we'll give you $1,000 for it.
Oh my
And,
gosh, that's better than you
so-
told me yesterday. I'm just kidding.
Is it? But you know, it's on certain models, of course. But
Sure.
just come by. We offer 0% financing on Hustler mowers. Also selling Troy-Bilt now.
I saw
Yep.
those. You've got some Troy-Bilt tractor mowers in there.
Tractor mowers, tillers, front and rear tine tillers, and that's what Troy-Bilt's known for, is tillers. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
just come by and check us out.
Those Troy-Bilt tillers. I noticed in there you've had one of the Hustler cutter housings up
Yep.
on the stand there. Me and Daniel in there. Daniel was
display.
in there for display.
Yeah.
So we went over there and played with that thing, and he got to see how the thing operated.
Yeah.
Now that was fascinating
It is.
to Daniel.
Yeah, it's all about learning and you know, educating people and showing them, you know, the quality of the decks and also how the belts are designed and pulleys. So look, we have a lot of people in our county and around that they're do-it-yourself type individuals. So they can come by and hands-on and learn how those belt patterns work and how you would change bearings and pulleys.
All that good stuff.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. Rent Right. What's the phone number there at Rent Right?
931-762-8187.
762-8187.
Been that way for 45 years.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
45 years. You know, that's you know, you talk about careers. Back to you just a bit. You began your career right there and stayed right there.
I did. I've never put in an application anywhere,
Yeah.
Shannon. I
That's
don't know how to
awesome.
do that.
Yeah, we can teach you. Not
Can
that you
you?
need, not
Okay.
that you need, but we have lots of people
But
that don't know.
yeah, we did. We started right there and been right there on that corner
But
for a long time.
you had the skill from your education
I
that you
did.
got
Yeah,
at the
it
vocational school.
started at Lawrence County. It started
Yeah.
with farming, with my
Yeah.
dad. And then I had the privilege of being involved with the very first ag mechanics class.
Isn't that
over here.
cool?
I love that so
Yeah,
much.
I use it every day.
Yeah.
And so being able to diagnose and
Do they still have the graphic arts class, or has that changed out?
Yeah, we have it. We have it. It's digital design.
Yeah, it's different
the fancy
now.
name now. It's digital design. You know, everything is. It's just so different.
Well, the technology has changed so
Right.
much in the printing industry, just
Right.
like anywhere else. But printing is not done like it used to be
Right,
done.
it is very different.
It's very different,
But,
but-
we've got those programs, and our students are doing so good, so well in that,
Fantastic, fantastic.
for sure.
Shannon Watson with the Lawrence County School System and headed for retirement,
I am.
but an excellent job and with CTE
Thank you.
and
Appreciate
Lawrence County Schools. Bill Adams with Rent Right, of course. And you guys, well, Bill will be back next Tuesday morning, but you come back
that.
anytime.
I will.
When you
I
get,
will. Thank
and,
you.
and listen, we'll talk about your career future.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Your future career.
Hey, I'm praying about it every day. We'll figure it out.
All right. Well, that's going to wind us up, guys. Thanks for coming.
thank you, Jeff.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox
All
News.
right.
Thank you, Bill.
It's fine.
That's
Close
fun.
doors a
Thank
second.
you. Yeah, I enjoyed
Perfect.
it.
Perfect.
What do you think about this? Okay?
This is such a neat thing. I mean, this is such a great way for people to learn about what's going on. I just think this is great.
Great, thank you.
Mr. Adkins needs to come.
Okay.